Dear students, in our previous class, we had started Unit 2 of Lesson 5, Our Runaway Kite. Let us recapitulate what had been discussed in the previous classes. Claude and Philippa lived on the big half moon island with their father. Their father was the keeper of the lighthouse. There were no other children on the island, so Claude and Philippa had to play with each other. But in winter, when the water of the sea turned into ice, they had to leave the island and go to the mainland. And in spring they came back. In the mainland, Claude and Philippa played with the mainland children. The people of the mainland had sympathy for them. Why did they pity Claude and Philippa? They pitied Claude and Philippa because they thought that they were very lonesome. There was no one to play with them. But actually, Claude and Philippa did not want companions either. Sometimes they wanted. Sometimes when playing pirate games or something, they wanted some companions. But companions meant world also. For example, on the mainland, when they played with the mainland children, they quarreled with the mainland children. But Claude and Philippa never quarreled with each other. But sometimes they felt very confused. Why were they confused? They were confused because all the children of the mainland had relatives. But they had no relatives except their father. No aunt, no cousin, nothing. And they often thought that it would be very nice if they had uncles, aunts and cousins. Once they asked their father about it, but the very question of relatives made their father so sad that they thought that they shouldn't have asked the question. And what did father reply? Father replied that there were no relatives because of his own fault. তার নিজের দোষের জন্যই তাদের কোনো আত্মীয় নেই. Seeing father unhappy, they did not raise the question. But Philippa has also told us, now on the island, there are 6 people. Their Aunt Esther and her 2 offsprings, Dick and Mimi, were also on the island. How the family was reunited is the theme of the story. And according to Philippa, it was because of a kite that the family was reunited. This was in Unit 1. In Unit 2, Philippa tells us about the ambience of the big half moon island. Particularly in summer, the weather is pleasant, the sea is blue and calm, and there are small waves and little wind. And every summer they indulged in some hobby. The last summer, the hobby was making kites or flying kites. Some boy on the mainland had taught Dick how to make kites. Had taught Claude how to make kites. And Claude had made plenty of kites. With the help of the kites, the 2 children, Claude and Philippa, played some games. One of them was the game Shipwrecked Mariners, sailors whose ship had sunk. যেসব নাবিকের জাহাজ ডুবে গেছে সেই নাবিকদের খেলা. What did they do? They went to different parts of the island and signaled to each other with the kites. One day, Claude made a very beautiful kite. Why was it beautiful? Because it was very big and covered with lovely red paper. Moreover, Claude had decorated it with tinsel stars. Claude had also written something on the kite. What had Claude written on the kite? He had written their names and their address on the kite. He had written Claude Litty Philippa Litty Big Half Moon Island. The address was also written there. One day, a very strong wind was blowing. It was an ideal wind for kite flying. So Philippa went to the house to bring the kite. But an accident happened. A mishap took place. Philippa met with an accident. How did Philippa meet with an accident? She tripped. That means her foot hit against something, and she fell over the stones. Her elbow went through the kite, and naturally there was a big hole on the kite. This was the mishap that Philippa met with while bringing the kite. We are starting from that point. We had to hurry to fix the kite. What is meant by the term fix? The word fix means to repair, sharan. There was a very big hole in the kite. Now, if there is a big hole in the kite, then wind would blow through it. And the kite would not fly. So at first, the kite must be repaired. So they had to hurry. So hurry means to make haste, taratari kora. Why did they make hurry to fix the kite? If we wanted to send it up before the wind fell, fall of wind, that means sometimes the wind blows hard, sometimes the velocity of the wind decreases. Batasher gotibeg kome jay. This is called fall of wind. So if the wind falls, the kite will not fly. So that's why Claude and Philippa were in a haste. They wanted to repair the kite very quickly. They wanted to repair it before the wind fell. We rushed into the lighthouse to get some paper. Rush. To rush means to run quickly. Claude and Philippa ran quickly into the lighthouse. Why did they run quickly into the lighthouse? Because they wanted to collect some paper. Why did they need some paper? They needed some paper to repair the kite. Ghuriটাকে সারানোর জন্য they needed paper. And where was the paper? The paper was in the lighthouse. So they rushed into the lighthouse. We knew there was no more red paper. What was the kite made of? The kite was made of lovely red paper. So if the kite has to be repaired, it must be repaired with the help of a piece of red paper. But unfortunately, there was no red paper in the house. Philippa and Claude knew that there was no red paper in the house. So what did they do? We took the first thing that came handy. To come handy, that means something that comes to our hand quickly. What was the thing that came to their hands quickly? An old letter lying on the bookcase in the sitting room. This was the thing that Claude and Philippa came across. In the sitting room, in the drawing room, there was an old letter. Now the letter is nothing but a piece of paper. Now if the letter is used to repair the kite, naturally it would be a very good thing. Where was the old letter? The old letter was lying on the bookcase in the sitting room. This video comes to an end. I am going to upload another one.